All right, what we're doing right now is we're going to rewrite formulas and solve them. So I'm going to redo that last one real quick because we had some interruptions. Plus it looked a little funny. So we're going to try that again. You want to get your x by itself is the whole point. Or your letter by yourself, whatever letter we're looking at. Okay? So if we have 2x minus 9 equals 4, you guys know we're going to add 9 first, right? We're going to get 2x equals 13, and then we're going to divide by 2. And we get x equals approximately 6.5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, but there's not going to be numbers. It's just going to be letters. Okay? We're going to try to get x by itself. So what's the first thing I'm going to do if we're going to try to get x by itself? Yes, Tom?
Add C.
Add C, good. And we get ax equals 4 plus c. Now, how are we going to get x by itself? What's our next step? Let's raise our hands. Who knows? What do we do next? Martel's the only one in the class. I really don't believe it. Kyle. Divide by a. I knew you knew the answer. Okay, so do you guys get how those two are the same kind of thing? If I tell you what letter to solve for, hopefully you can solve for it whether there are numbers or letters, right? So that's what we're going to look at with example 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to take formulas that only have letters in them and solve for that specific letter.
So this is that real algebra.
This is that real algebra, yeah.
It's that real algebra. That true Mark said.
Okay, so for this next one, we've got little g equals big G, little m, over s squared. And do you see how it's underlined? That little m is underlined?
Why is that underlined?
Because we're going to solve for that m. So we're going to get rid of everything else and have that m be alone. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by s squared. That gets rid of our fraction. These are gone now, and we're left with s squared g equals big G, little m. Now, what do I have to do to get the big G? What is the big G doing to the m? It's being
Multiply.
Yes. So we're going to
Divide.
Good. We divide by that big G, and we're left s squared little g over big G equals m. Any questions about that?
Well, can you do another problem like that? Because I'm having hard time doing that.
Yeah, we'll do the next one. We'll do B.
So how did you know that it was multiplied? So why did
See how the s squared is being divided? So the first thing I did is multiply.
It looked like the first thing you did was divide.
Yeah, I multiply first. Okay, if we've got D equals ST, where S is underlined.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got to get the S by itself. What is the T doing to the S? It's being, yes, Kyle? So you have to divide by T. And these are canceled, and we're left with D over T equals S. Okay, we need to get S by itself because it's underlined. T is being multiplied by S. So I divided both sides by T, and I get S by itself. Yeah?
Yes.
I heard some O's, which hopefully were good. Oh, I get it. O's.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I know when you was in college and they showed you this type of stuff when you was trying to teaching you. I know you was like, what?
Mark, is this an appropriate time to have this conversation? Because I believe I'm in the middle of teaching right now. And you did not raise your hand, sir. I know, I'm big on that hand raising. Okay. So, we're trying to get H by itself. The first thing I'm going to see, are there any numbers in this equation? So let's get rid of that 1/3 first, okay? If we're getting rid of a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. Good. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 over 1. These are gone now, and I get 3b equals LWH. What are L and W doing to H? They're being?
Multiply.
So you want to?
Divide.
Divide. We're going to take them both at once because they're both doing the same thing.
WH.
So we get 3b over LW equals H. So we got rid of the number first by doing the opposite. Then we got rid of all of the letters by doing their opposite. Okay? Let's try some with example 3. Example 3 might be easier. We got some more letters. We got some numbers with these letters. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at example 3. We've got 3x plus y equals 1. So the first thing we're going to do is solve for y, and then we're going to plug in x equals 2. So what is being added or subtracted to y? Yes, Dina? 3x. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. These are gone. I'm left with y equals negative 3x plus 1. Okay, now x equals 2. So I'm just going to stick in y equals negative 3 times 2 plus 1. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Plus 1 we're going to get y equals negative 5.
That's a y or is that a negative 1?
That's a y equals negative 5. Good question.
Come on, bro.
No, all I'm asking for is a light bulb, and this thing won't turn off.
Mr. K's, he
Where
just
did
went
you
out
get
too.
that hoodie?
Okay, this summer in Universal Studios.
You went there.
Okay. All right, next, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at volume, which is V, equals length times width times height, and we're solving for height. What is length times width doing to height? It's being.
Multiply.
So you want to?
Divide.
Okay, why don't you guys try that right now?
On example.
Try for example 3, B, to solve for H. We went over how you do it. Why don't you guys try it on your own?
We divide it. Yeah. Is
Being
that
multiplied, so you want to.
divide? Do you divide all through? No, do some of the other. So you divide it. I mean, yeah,
Okay, so we were left with V over LW equals H. Then we're simply going to plug this in. We're going to say 28, because that's V, over 2 times 7 equals H. So we get 28 over 14 equals H. So what does H equal? H equals 14 goes into 28? Done. Okay, let's turn it over and look at the back. You know what? I'm not going to do all of these. We've done basically the same thing. I am going to go all the way down to the bottom where it says number 1, and I'm going to do that one. Okay, we've got I equals P R T, and we're going to solve for T. What are P and R doing for T?
multiply.
So we're going to divide. And so I get I, which is interest, over principal times rate equals time. Let's try one more. Let's try 3. I've got the area equals 1/2 base times height. I want height alone. The first thing I need to do is get rid of the what?
1/2 base.
1/2. So I'm going to times both sides by 2 over 1. So I get 2 times the area equals base times height. What is base doing to height? It's being multiplied, so you divide. So I divide both sides by base. So 2 times the area over the base equals the height.
You put the answer.
That is the answer.
Oh, I didn't see the H.
All right, ladies.